You have to find it within yourself. If I've got to tell you to get up, and I've got to tell you to go to work, and I've got to tell you to do everything, then until that person stops telling you, you're never going to be able to achieve anything. So that's the best piece of advice I've been given, is find it within yourself to be motivated. You've been blessed with a brain, heart for emotions, spiritual connections.
Left hook head, left hook body. Good. Body head. Good. And again.
So connect with like the positive forces in the world and find motivation to try and achieve something while you're here. That's the best piece of advice I've been given.
Almost 2 weeks left before Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul turns the boxing world upside down. AJ isn't just training. He's going all in like a man fine-tuning a masterpiece.
There is a saying, I would say, there's a saying that a happy fighter makes a dangerous fighter, in the sense that if you put them in the right environment and their brain is receptive of what they're being taught, they're going to be more in tune with what they're going through. So I'm actually like, give me more, give me more, give me more.
That's his mindset in everything he does, whether it's training, whether it's work, whether it's helping other people. He just always wants to go that extra yard.
That's it. And again. Good. And again. Good. 2 more. 1 more of them. Good.
Over in Spain, he's tapped into the precision of Usyk's team, sharpening every movement, tightening every combination, and absorbing that slick, calculated rhythm that separates great from elite. And you can feel the evolution in real time.
I'm just focused on myself. I'm confident in myself. Jake could be 10th. I'm confident in myself. That's what I'm saying. It's not about how he is. I just really like, I've got a good team. I've been through ups and downs. I've stood the test of time. I'm passionate. I'm hungry. And I'm still here ready to fight my heart out. So I'm confident in that.
With almost 2 weeks left before Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul turns the boxing world upside down, AJ isn't just training. He's going all in like a man fine-tuning a masterpiece. Over in Spain, he's tapped into the precision of Usyk's team, sharpening every movement, tightening every combination, and absorbing that slick, calculated rhythm that separates great from elite. And you can feel the evolution in real time. This isn't a casual camp or a routine tune-up. This is Joshua refining his edge, moving smarter, faster, cleaner, absorbing new layers to his game while locking in on the task ahead with laser focus. While the noise builds and the spotlight grows brighter, AJ's blueprint is simple: improve, adapt, and arrive sharper than ever.
Sometimes fighters will have a silent agreement where it's like, all right, you're not going to punch, I'm not going to punch. And we're just looking at each other. I'm not that kind of fighter. I'm going to be putting pressure on you even when you're not punching. So it'll be interesting to see how he deals with that type of pressure. And it takes a seasoned type of athlete to know how to deal with that. Boxing is not just the punches you see, it's the feinting, it's the distance, it's the, oh my God, through that jab. Yeah, the intangibles. It's going to be really interesting to see how he deals with the intangibles in it.
And if this version carries what we're seeing in training into fight night, trust me, the atmosphere is about to hit different. And just when you think Joshua sharpening his tools in Spain with that elite technical polish means this script is already written, boom, here comes Ryan Garcia and the crew turning the whole thing into a wild debate that feels like a late-night boxing podcast on caffeine.
Like, look it, he loses to AJ. Where does he go from here? You know, like, who does he fight? You're gonna go back down to 135?
The problem is not that he loses to AJ. The problem is the way he's gonna lose to AJ might be life changing.
Right.
You know, so that's the real issue.
It could be life changing in many ways, right? Physical.
Yeah.
You know? See what he did in Nagano. You know, it's like. But then again, like, if he gets knocked out, he gets knocked out. Nobody really expects anything. So
yes, I'm sitting here like you, hearing them go back and forth and thinking, are we really in the timeline where people are even imagining a Jake Paul miracle moment? They're talking chaos, destiny, once in a lifetime shockwaves. And I can't lie, it's hilarious and nerve-wracking at the same time. We've got one side saying this is a calculated masterclass in preparation, and the other side painting a what if the impossible happens movie trailer. And that contrast is pure entertainment.
It's a whole different ball game. And when Jake gets hit by Anthony, like Do we even know how he can react to a big punch yet? We don't. He's never even got hit yet, like in a real fight. He's never taken a real punch. So that's what I'm saying. What about like, oh yeah, like AJ shot and he's getting knocked out a lot. But what about you? How are you gonna react when that big shot hits you? You think you're gonna snap back into it and know what to do? No.
You can feel the mix of respect, disbelief, and nervous laughter floating in the air. And that's the magic of this fight. We're watching confidence collide with reality, hype clash with hard-earned experience, and every voice in the space sounds like they're half serious and half bracing for a plot twist straight out of a boxing drama. One thing's clear though, whether you're calm, panicking, or predicting a historic shock, you're locked in. And so am I. Because this ain't just a fight. This is a heavyweight soap opera with gloves on.
Oh, sleeps Anthony? Just sleeps?
If Jake Paul beats Anthony Joshua, it would be the biggest upset in the history of sports.
In the history of sports, correct?
Not just boxing, in sports.
And Jake
that'd be
Paul,
crazy.
Bro, we'll never hear the end of it, ever. It'll be over. Jake Paul will be the greatest athlete of all time.
And just when we're soaking in the image of Joshua in Spain, grinding like a man on a mission and sharpening every edge with elite guidance, the conversation flips straight into Joe Rogan mode. And suddenly the vibe goes from focused execution to full what universe are we living in right now energy. I'm sitting here with you thinking the same thing. Joe's thinking, this matchup sounds like someone hit the randomizer on a boxing video game and didn't even bother checking the setting.
Realistically, it's one of the craziest propositions of all time. You take a guy who just had a boxing match that looks like a sparring match with a 58-year-old Mike Tyson, and then you're going to fight one of the absolute scariest knockout artists in the heavyweight division. Maybe we should watch the Francis Ngannou fight so you could see. Let's watch that real quick, just so you can see what Anthony Joshua is capable if he's fighting someone that's not in his league.
You've got AJ coming in calm, dialed, and locked in while Jake's name sparks that wild mix of curiosity and disbelief. And we're all pretending we're not secretly fascinated by how bold this whole situation is. We know Joshua isn't treating this like a casual stroll. And when you pair that with Joe's stunned tone, it feels like the calm before a storm you can't look away from. Like we're watching confidence and credibility shake hands in the most unexpected way possible. And let's be honest, the way Joe breaks it down has that I can't believe what I'm saying, but I'm saying it anyway.
The tape of Paul and Joshua.
I was gonna say they got him to weigh a grade of 245. That's only like 7 pounds less.
Yeah, that's nothing. And there's some sort of a rehydration clause. Listen, kids, it ain't gonna matter. There's not a chance that Anthony Joshua is not going to just lose the weight beforehand. He's not gonna come in drained. What he's gonna do is just do extra cardio, and that's just gonna make him more dangerous. He's going to be terrifying, and he's going to have a lot to prove. He's going to be very angry that Jake Paul wants to fight him.
Flavor that makes you lean closer to the screen and double-check reality. You mean everyone hearing it is thinking this is either going to be a disciplined masterclass or the kind of chaos that rewrites group chat history forever. And there's no middle ground here. The size gap, the experience gap, the sheer contrast of worlds colliding. It's like watching a blockbuster trailer where every frame screams drama, tension, and questionable life choices wrapped in expensive gloves. We're sitting here trying to act logical, but deep down we know logic left the building the moment this matchup became real. And now we're just riding the wave, waiting to see if this turns into a statement performance or a headline that breaks the internet. And the wild part, no matter what side you're on, you're locked in, because when even Joe Rogan sounds half shocked and half entertained, you already know this ride isn't slowing down anytime soon.
I don't think there's any chance in the world, knowing what Anthony Joshua is a specialist at. He's a specialist at putting knuckles through your fucking brain, and that's what he's going to try to do to Jake Paul. And anything other than that, from a 34-year-old Anthony Joshua, will make us all think it's a fixed fight. Whether or not Josh he can do it, whether or not, Jake Paul shocks the world and shows us that he really does know how to box really well and moves really good and uses his jab and blows us all away with a strategy and a lot of footwork and
And just when Joe's tone has you balancing between disbelief and popcorn mode, Chael Sonnen slides in like the ultimate mythbuster with that calm confidence that feels like a lecture and a roast at the same time. I'm listening to him pick apart the "this fight won't happen" crowd. And honestly, it sounds like he's speaking directly to the comment section warriors who type "mark my words" with Olympic-level certainty. You and I both know what he's getting at. This isn't some imaginary headline pulled out of thin air. This is big money, big ego, and big stakes colliding in real time. And the funniest part, the logic rewind. If Jake pulls out, who exactly is he calling himself scheduling a board meeting with his reflection? Chael turning that question into a philosophical comedy routine is pure gold. And we're sitting here watching the internet argue with a man who treats common sense like a finishing move.
You believe that Jake Paul is going to pull out of that fight. Might even do it the day of, correct? Correct? Okay. Who would he pull out to? He is the promoter. Who would he call? Does he send an email to himself? Does he send a text message to himself? Does he schedule a meeting, come in and sit down, cross the table and look in the eye himself? Like, it's the part that is the most fascinating about the whole thing is that Jake would be the one to be the skunk at the garden party.
But then Chael flips the switch and suddenly it's not jokes anymore. It's warning sirens. The energy goes from "this is silly" to "this is serious business" real quick. And I'm locked in with you because now it feels like the room just got colder. He's reminding us that when a seasoned heavyweight starts talking with real intent, not PR fluff, not polite respect, but straight purpose, that's when the tone changes. I love how he calls out the whole puncher's chance fantasy like it's a bedtime story people refuse to stop telling themselves. And while everyone online debates conspiracy theories and dramatic pullouts, I'm sitting here thinking the only real surprise is how many people still underestimate what happens when confidence meets consequence. You can argue the chaos, you can joke about the madness, but deep down, we all know this isn't a fairy tale. It's power, pressure, and pride stepping into the same spotlight. And none of them look like they're blinking.
You believe that Jake Paul carries around with him a puncher's chance? Really? So he's got the ability, he's going to throw something from some weird direction. It's going to have so much power, and Anthony Joshua may not see it. And by the way, if he doesn't, it's going to connect him, even though it's a 12-ounce glove, and it's going to knock him out. Now, knock him down, I think you'd be going a little too far. I would definitely take your bet on that with no limit. But this isn't a knockdown game. You got to knock the guy out. You got to knock him down and then keep him there for an alleged count of 10, which could be any number, but it's an alleged count of 10.
So, here we are, 2 weeks out, and this whole saga feels less like a regular fight build-up and more like a heavyweight roller coaster fueled by discipline, drama, and pure curiosity. We've got Joshua in full craftsman mode, sharpening his tools with elite precision, while the outside world debates miracles, madness, and everything in between like it's a live sports think tank. I'm watching it with you. And the funniest part is how this matchup has everybody picking sides, rewriting predictions, and emotionally hedging their bets like it's a championship chess match played in boxing gloves. Is this a statement performance waiting to happen, or are we about to witness the kind of shock that gets replayed in highlights for the next decade? That's the real conversation, and I want to hear where you stand on it. So, drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's debate it like real fans. And yo, don't ever forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters.